What's up, everyone? My name is Michael Pohl with Bay Area Aquatics, and it has been a minute. All right, so it has been 3 years, roughly, since my last YouTube video, and a lot has happened since then, and I'm sure you're wondering why I stopped making videos, where I've been, again, what the plan for the channel is, why is there no fish tanks in the background. A lot has changed. I do still own fish. I do have a fish tank. It's in the office. My office is currently being used kind of as a storage room, and so not really enough room to set up a camera and everything in there, so I decided to just go ahead and set up in the garage and at least get this kind of rolling while we start cleaning out the office. I also do have some ponds in the backyard. I love rice fish, if you remember, and so I do have a couple ponds of various types of Medaka rice fish in the backyard, as well as, like I said, the tank inside. I do plan to set up a couple more tanks inside, but I might break down the one that I have and move some around. I might do a little more of like a nano style. But yeah, so I figured I'd go ahead and kind of explain where the channel has been, why it stopped, and what the plans for the channel are in the future. I stopped making videos about 3 years ago. It was during COVID, and I was self-employed fully. I'd been self-employed for several years at that point. I had a pretty solid business, business partner, the whole 9 yards. And when COVID hit, it took a pretty hard toll on our business. We ended up closing our commercial location down. We ended up closing the full business down just entirely, and kind of splitting up and going our own ways, which is fine. But it took a little bit of a hit on kind of my mental toll and kind of a, what do I do now? And so getting in front of a camera after all that just wasn't exactly my first choice. I did it a couple times. I made a few videos after it all happened, but I just wasn't really like in a camera ready mood, I guess is kind of the best way to put it. But so I ended up just kind of stopped filming. A few other things happened in my life too that just added things to do. I met my now wife at the time, and so we started dating. I ended up moving in with her, so I moved from my place into her place. We then moved from that place into another place. So I've moved twice since then. Moving fish tanks are very hard. It's not the easiest thing, especially when it's a couple hours away, et cetera, et cetera. And so I really downsized a lot of the fish tanks. Like I said, right now I've just got a single 29-gallon and then some tubs. For a while, I just had like a little 10-gallon. For a little bit, I just had nothing. I've really kind of, aquariums are hard to move and hard to live with when you're kind of renting. And so it's kind of taken a little bit of a back seat. But I've pretty much had fish the whole time. I think I was only without an aquarium for like a month when I first moved, just as I kind of tried to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. Like I kind of touched on a little bit, there have been some other things besides the business closing. Like I said, I did move. I moved in with my girlfriend. I got married to her a couple weeks ago, and that's been absolutely great. I've also had a couple of different jobs. Like I said, not being self-employed anymore. I went back into kind of a full-time role, doing what I was doing self-employed, but for companies instead. I do social media management in case anyone is curious. But I've had 2 jobs and I've gotten laid off since then. And so it's just every time that I feel like it's time to start filming these videos or something along that line, something happens, something changes in my life where I just go, okay, I can't do it right now. But it's something that I miss. I really like being creative, especially being in the social media management field. I sit at a computer most of the day. I do a lot more like strategy and kind of back-end stuff. I haven't been really creative. I work with a lot of creators. I work with some very talented people, some very talented creators, and I get to create a little bit here and there, but not in the same way that running a YouTube channel does. And it's something that I miss very dearly. I owned a portrait studio for several years, and I haven't taken a actual picture, like a formal picture with a nice camera, in probably 2 years at this point. And so, probably about a year. So it's one of those where I break the cameras out occasionally here and there, but 9 times out of 10, I'm usually doing strategy and not necessarily the creative side. And I really miss the creative side. I want to get back into the creative side. Another thing that I've kind of taken the opportunity to do is kind of explore some other hobbies. As much as I love fish keeping, I am one of those people that has a million hobbies and I never have enough time to do them all. And so kind of toning back the fish tanks a little bit, allowed me to kind of spend more time doing some other hobbies. So I've been camping a lot more. I really like camping. I grew up as a Boy Scout. I grew up outdoors quite a bit. And I still don't get to camp as much as I would like, but I've been getting to camp a lot more. Hiking, being outdoors, exploring parks, traveling, etc., things like that. I also bought a Subaru Crosstrek a couple years ago that I have modified slightly, nothing too crazy, but just a little bit. And I've been having a ton of fun taking that all over the place, meeting up with a lot of other people, whether it's other Crosstreks or other kind of like off-roady type people. Sometimes we camp, sometimes we just go explore trails and kind of see sights, etc., etc. And that's been a ton of fun. Another thing that I've really gotten into is ham radio. I've been licensed for 10 plus years at this point, but I really got back into it. I upgraded to my general license, and I've talked to people all over the world on the radio, and that's been extremely fun. I do that a lot when I'm camping and things like that as well, doing things like parks on the air and stuff like that. So it's been really fun kind of exploring other hobbies, as well as, again, still keeping fish, still going to fish clubs, still doing XYZ, but just having some more time to do some other hobbies has been really nice. So the next part that's kind of important is, where exactly do I plan to take this channel? I have been seriously considering rebranding this channel. I've been putting a lot of thought into it for the last month or so, as I've been kind of prepping things and writing out stuff and kind of laying out a plan. And I'm kind of torn between two plans. The first plan is either starting a separate channel and then keeping Bay Area Aquatics as Bay Area Aquatics, or keeping it all in one channel. If I kept it all in one channel, I would probably change the name, whether that's just my name, whether it's something else. I'm not quite sure. If you have any ideas, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. But it would probably start having more videos there'd still be fish videos. Like I said, I still have aquariums. I still have a dozen fish videos that I filmed over the last year or so, that I just need to edit and put out, maybe sit down and film some talking head footage. But I've got all the B-roll for it. I can edit those pretty quickly. So I'd still have fish videos coming out, but I'd also probably get back into, again, being a little more creative and not necessarily tying myself to fish. Doing some like camping vlogs or off-roading vlogs, or ham radio stuff, or some like electronics or some little DIY stuff that I've been playing with. Kind of more of like a generalized hobby channel, hobby/outdoor/fish channel. It's not the best per se for like, professionalism as far as like YouTube stuff goes. They tend to like it when you're more niche. But I'm not really doing this to plan to go full-time or anything like that. I'm doing this because, again, I want to get back into being more creative. And I think if I de-niche the channel, I will have more opportunities to film, more opportunities to be creative, and that appeals to me. Like I said, the other option is keeping Bay Area Aquatics as it is, starting a separate channel. Again, still wouldn't know what I would call it, if it would just be my name or something else. Again, I'd love to hear comments or your ideas in the comments. But I'd keep this channel, the fish channel, upload fish videos here, probably at a lower frequency, but more than never uploading, and then uploading videos on my other channel as well. And again, those would probably be more off-road, hiking, camping vlogs, electronics. I've got this like old radio that I'm converting to Bluetooth, but still keeping the radio function on it. And so little projects like that I think would be fun to film and share would be shared onto that channel versus this channel. Or again, I can just leave it all on one channel for simplicity. And I don't really necessarily, I'm not concerned about building a new audience or anything like that, but managing multiple channels just starts to get complicated. So I'm kind of leaning keeping it all in one channel, but I haven't fully decided that yet. So that's kind of the rough idea for the future. But yeah, so that's basically where I've been, what I've been doing, and where I hope this channel goes soon. Like I said, I'm still thinking a lot about it. I've been putting a lot of thought into it, but I'd really like to hear your guys' thoughts on what I should do. Should I keep it one channel? Should I keep it two channels? What type of stuff would you like to see? Is there anything you'd like to see? It's something that I've been thinking about a lot, and I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I want to hear your guys' feedback. I value your guys' feedback. So, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this up because I feel like I'm rambling. I don't exactly know how long this is going to be because I filmed the same thing a couple of times. So I don't want to talk too long, but like I said, I'd love to hear you guys' comments. If you want to follow me, I'll leave all the information for my stuff in the description below. Like I said, let me know in the comments what you want to see, what you think I should do, and you guys will be seeing a lot more of me. And I'm looking forward to filming some more videos and getting back to being a little more creative. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, keep track of what I'm doing, and kind of see what we're going to be doing in the future here. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks.